Hey guys.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Teen Toast Pod. I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lucy, the sister duo you never knew you needed. Cheers to that. We got new mugs, guys.
Guys, if you're not watching, you need to
How
click onto
cute.
YouTube now. Look how cute these are.
Our little toast mugs. So I literally bought them and I was like, Ellie, we literally have tea and toast. And she was like, yeah, I get it.
I don't know how to drink from them.
These are good old little Primark finds for, I think we still have the sticker on, £3.50 each. But it's giving Jellycat.
They're so cute. Look.
They are cute. It's giving Jellycat vibes. So for those listening, it's basically like a mug in the shape of
Slice of toast.
like a slice of toast
with like a little
smiley face on. So gonna enjoy the first sip of tea. Shall we name them? Shall we just call one tea and one toast?
Yeah.
Mine can be tea.
Yeah, this is toast.
Okay. Tea and toast. Cheers. Okay. Well, welcome back, guys. Make sure you are liking, commenting. Let us know in the comments what you like, because we're literally now filming episode 12.
No, stop.
Can you believe
12?
It's episode 12 of Tea and Toast?
I wouldn't have said that. If you'd asked me, I'd have said like 7, 8.
I know. It's crazy. We're 12 weeks into the year, pretty much. That's mad,
Oh,
innit?
yeah.
So, yeah, we are actually going to be doing like a big review as well, and just looking at like what's been doing well, not been doing well, but there's only so much data we can look at. So we would love to actually get to know from you guys. We'll be putting an Instagram story up as well. So make sure you've got us on there at Tea and Toast Pod on all of our socials and YouTube. And we're on Spotify and Apple as well. So yeah, any feedback, we would love it as we're planning future episodes.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know in the comments, guys. We want to hear from you in the DMs as well. Definitely.
But yeah, how have you been, sis? Catch up.
I've been good. I've been feeling very chill, wholesome. I feel like I've
wholesome era.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been very much like in my own bubble.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you have been in your own bubble definitely last week.
Maybe like the last month. So
like me and my other sister have a running joke that we're like, is Ellie dead? Like we have to text in the sister group chat like, Ellie, are you alive or just like doing your own thing? And then we'll get a response like 5 days later being like, oh sorry, I was just doing my own thing.
I have become the worst person at using my phone ever. And I was always bad. So the fact that I've got worse is unbelievable.
I was saying to Sophie, because me and Sophie were together on Saturday, and I was saying if I do just need Ellie, I ring her, because you can't wait 3 to 5 working days for a reply from her.
No, and I respect that.
I've got to do what I've got to do.
Honestly, I think it is because, though, I can't go on my phone all at work, really.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get home, you cook dinner, like, I'm just not present.
No, I get it, because I feel like I was someone that was always, I mean, I am always on my phone because it's like my job, but I mean, like, I was always on my phone to reply, and I would reply within seconds to everyone. But like even me in the last month, like I've been really busy, and then you prioritize work and family and relationships and friends, and you can't stay on top of all of it. So I've even noticed definitely in the last, I would say 3 weeks, like I am more like when you do finish work and then sit down and eat, you're like, oh, I can't, my social battery's gone now. So like, unless it's like urgent or someone needs to know something for like the next day or something, I'm just not responding. I'm just not responding till the morning, till I'm back in work mode. But so I totally get it. Literally, but I'm like, is it a sign of old age? Maybe our brains just can't cope anymore.
On Friday, I didn't even confirm to Sophie I was coming. She texted me like,
no, that would really piss me off. So when we did the who's most likely to last week, and you're like, cancel last minute. Okay, you didn't cancel, but like she didn't even know if you were coming.
No, but then I said to her, yes, I just knocked on the door. She said she knew it was me. She said she thinks that I would have texted saying I'm not coming. So the fact that I didn't text, she thought I was coming.
But she still didn't know if you were, because there was no response. So I think you're like, anyway, whatever.
Look,
you couldn't do that with me. I would need to know if you were coming or not, but I would have rang you. She just like didn't communicate back either. I would have texted you 5 times or rang you and been like, are you coming or not?
Yeah, I know.
Like, we're talking about, I'm texting her about the podcast last night, and I just get no response. Then I text her again like, hello.
In my defense, I was dying.
No, there's no defense. We're filming the podcast today.
I didn't see my phone.
You're crazy.
Yes, this weekend was super nice. We went on a forest. We went to like the North Yorkshire moors, like the edge of the moors,
Oh, gorgeous.
and did like a forest walk with Biscuit and
Hi.
he just started staring at us.
I know.
Oh my gosh, we nearly had like a. Richard said, like when we were telling Sophie about the story yesterday, Richard was like, we nearly got a divorce before we even got married.
Oh no, tell us the story.
You know, like when you have a nice day out,
Yeah.
but then like something always goes like.
It's always on the nice day out, or it's always when you were looking forward to doing something. Like whenever you have the good intention of like doing something nice, and then on the days where you're just doing nothing in front of the TV, you're getting on.
Yeah, let me know if you think I'm in the wrong.
Okay. Oh, can I tell you if I think you're in the wrong?
Yeah, because I think I might have been, but
all right.
I was in the moment.
No, come on, I'm gonna hype you up, sister. Let's go.
Richard was like, "Oh, plan the day out. Like, we're gonna go out for the day." I knew Biscuit was coming, so I knew it was probably gonna be like a walk somewhere. Yeah. So we drove like an hour maybe, and it was actually really nice. It meant to be really scenic, but it was really foggy, and I was
annoying.
Oh, did you not check the weather forecast?
Oh, no, see, that's bait.
No, I was like, did you check? He said it'd be nice if it was sunny. And I was like, oh, well, was there like, did you check?
Oh, okay.
And then he was like, yeah, it was meant to be sunny. And I was like, well, it obviously wasn't. But I didn't say that, obviously, because I was being nice. So we were walking for about 7 kilometres. It was really nice. And then Richard was like, because we kind of just kept looking at the map to see, oh yeah, if we keep looping this way, it's going to be like a circle back to the car or whatever. Yeah. And then we got to, and he was like, right, it's just this way, 20 minutes. When I say we walked uphill like this, and at this point we'd come out of the forest. It wasn't even scenic anymore. We were on the side of a road, but it was like a country road, so it wasn't like super busy.
Yeah.
So we're walking up, for those that are watching, I'm saying steep hill. Like our incline was something like 180 meters or something in total. I don't actually think I made that up either. I think it was 180 meters.
Stop, I'd have died.
So halfway up,
turned into a full-on hike.
Yeah, and then halfway up, I went. I said,
"Go on."
Well, you should have planned it better.
I mean, it's valid. Men just can't cope with that when you say that to them.
So I meant,
because he was obviously, because I just know how it would play out. I mean, yeah, he would have already probably been feeling
I know.
a little bit guilty. So then you triggered that, and he can't cope with it. So it's like your fault.
I know.
For bringing it up.
So I meant like just the route. Like you could have looked at a route before, to know that it wasn't going to be like kill me.
Yeah.
But then he was like, took his bat and ball home, because he was like, do you say that? Do you say take your bat and ball home?
Not said that in the longest time.
I felt like...
Is it more of a Yorkshire thing? I've never heard that in Manchester.
Yeah.
When that's something I would come out with, and Sophie would be like...
That's such a mum phrase.
Yeah, take my bat and ball home. I've not said that in years.
Yeah, and he was like, started walking off as if he was going to walk to the car. And I was like... He was like, you're so ungrateful, I've planned this day out. And I was like, I just meant the route. Like, you could have looked at a route so that we weren't like dying.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, you're so ungrateful, blah, blah, blah. So then I had to like...
grovel.
Well, actually, no, I was fuming.
Pander to his
In
ego.
the moment, I was dying.
You're allowed to say you could have planned.
I know.
What was your delivery, though? Because was your delivery pissed off?
I imagine it. No, I think I tried to make it nice because I knew it was going to come across.
He was definitely already.
So that's what I said. I said you're only bothered because you kind of agree.
Yeah.
And then he was like fuming because we always say like
because he knows you're right.
Guys don't plan anything. Like you've got to plan something. So then he was like annoyed.
When I do. But you didn't diss the day.
No, I said to him, I've had a really, really nice day.
I think what you said is completely valid because I know I would probably end up coming.
Bear in mind, at this point, like I'm actually quite a physically fit person, like training for my half marathon, but I've got asthma. Like if I'm walking up a hill like this, I need my inhaler, hun. So at least you could have planned to tell me I need my inhaler.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So how did you end it?
We
get
like
in the car fuming at each other.
So he was walking off and I was like, well, I'm not following you. I don't think I'm in the wrong.
Okay, that's stubborn.
Yeah.
Funny though. I would have loved to have been there.
But then but then I think he kind of realised we were like on a country road and couldn't leave me.
Yeah.
So then he came
He's
back.
like, I'm annoyed at you, but I love you.
Yeah, basically, that was it. He was like, I'm annoyed, but your safety is important to me. And then...
But I gotta look after you as a human.
Yeah, and then we did it. We did the last bit together, and we at that point we weren't actually that far from the car, thank goodness. But yeah. And then I was like boiling, but like a quarter of the way up, he'd said, "Oh, pass me your coat. I'll carry your coat." And
So
I
you're
said,
like, I am keeping this coat
and
on.
I said, "No, I'm all right." But then I was getting annoyed, and then by 3/4 of the way up, I was like, "I am sweltering." Like it was, I was literally like, I need to take my jumper off. Never mind my coat. But I was like, "No, I'm fine."
That is hilarious. Did you get in the car all good?
Yeah, then we got to the car and I think we were just fine.
Literally
but
forgot about it. That is so
yeah, I think we both just had to be like, yeah, so
just
like,
cool down for a second.
Yeah, literally.
When a guy has planned a date or planned something, you have to literally pretend it's the best thing since sliced bread.
And it's not.
Because like, yeah, their little egos can't be hurt, and you just like, so you're like, yeah, I love it. Oh my god, it's so good. I like have I told you?
I'm actually we've never talked about this before, but I'm so glad it's actually
it's such a universal thing. Like Yannick got me an orange twirl Easter egg last year, and I was like, because he'd gone to the effort and like, but I was like, I just needed like a normal twirl, not at the time, you know, massaging the ego and stuff. But this year, when we were in the supermarket the other day, and I went, the orange twirl and the twirl were just next to each other on the aisle. So I just went, FYI, this year I want that. Not that. And
he
like,
did it hurt his ego?
I don't even know, because I don't even think he got it. And I was like,
they don't get things.
And I was like, last year you got me that and I didn't like it. I want that. And to be fair, it was actually quite nice, but it just was, I didn't want an orange.
You're not really an orange chocolate girl.
It was nice, but no, I want the normal one. And he was like, oh, sorry. But because a year had passed and it was, but I think if in the moment I'd have been like, you have to pick your time and place, especially like when a guy gives you a gift, even if you open it and you think, wouldn't have been my first choice, or you have to like really.
Our first Easter together, he got me a Lindor egg, but the mint chocolate version. And I'm thinking he spent at least 15 quid on this egg.
I know. Why do I want a mint chocolate egg?
But like,
yeah, did you play it out?
Yeah,
like,
I had to be so grateful.
You were like, oh my god.
And I wonder whether he got me it because so then I think I thought at the time he got me it because mint choc ice cream is one of my favourite ice creams.
So thoughtful.
But I don't actually think it was. I think
It was probably just the only one left. Yeah. No.
Anyway, your Sunday looked well cute with the girls.
Yeah, so I actually went to Altrincham for the first time properly, and all three of us were like, so we've all decided we're like, the goal is to live here, right? Like, we're walking around.
It looks unreal.
I parked up like 10 minutes away from the town centre on a street, obviously that I could not, because I'm not paying for parking. Do you know what I mean? We actually played a game on Friday where we like put topic discussions.
Oh yeah, that sounded really good.
In the middle of the table, and one of the things was, what is something that in life that you would like, I'm wording this so badly, that you would want to live without. And I said paying for parking. I just think paying for parking should not be a thing at all.
Well, who's going to maintain the space?
No, but it's not like, I wasn't going that deeply. It's just something you would want to live without.
You just don't want it, but you're not thinking about the logistics.
And I was just like, paying for parking. So anyway, these houses, I was like,
is that where Molly May lives?
God. Or like her sister.
Near there.
No, Molly May's Cheshire, isn't she? So yeah, walking around Altrincham, we went to Altrincham markets for food.
It looked so nice.
One thing I will say is you need to remortgage your house to get food at Altrincham markets.
What we talking?
Well, so I got there was loads of different stands. There was like a taco stand, pizza stand. I think the cheapest pizza was like 16 quid.
Oh, for a full pizza.
Yeah, to be fair, there was a steak bit, a pie bit, whatever. I went to the steak bit and I just wanted, so they had a chicken salad on the menu, right? Not a steak salad. And it was a steak joint. But they had like steak salad.
Did you not ask for one?
So I just said, can I have like steak salad?
Yeah.
Like I was like, you do side salads. So I was like, can you just put steak in it? Anyway, apparently she couldn't just do that. I had to get charged for steak and chips and switch the chips out for salad. And when I say it was lettuce, I mean it was. When I say the food was stunning,
Oh, good.
like stunning, but I paid £20.
What?
And I was like, it's some lettuce leaves and some steak. I mean, it was gorgeous.
£20.
But yeah, bearing in mind, Polly just got steak and chips and then paid £2 for a sauce, and she paid £20. And I was like, why? I don't understand what I've done here. I don't know if she charged me separately for anyway, whatever. But yeah, but then walking.
Was that with a drink as well?
No.
I'm shook.
Yeah, shooketh. But it
That's
was
like
gorgeous.
what you pay in a restaurant.
No, I know. I was a bit like, but I was like, it's a girl's day out.
Yeah, it looked
and
gorgeous.
Polly brought Noah, her baby boy.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
How
it
is
was
he?
just, oh, he's gorgeous. Anyway, so we were walking around Altrincham. They have a Look Fantastic shop.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing. They launched the first one in. That's why I thought Molly May lived there, because she's like their ambassador, and they launched it.
Oh, I don't know. We went in. It is so nice. They didn't have a price on anything though, and it was a little off-putting. But
yeah, but you know how much it is
walking around
online.
Altrincham though.
Oh, I'd love to go in.
It was absolutely stunning. But walking around Altrincham, I was like, okay, middle class. Like we were going in. There was all these amazing like gift shops with like really cool quirky prints, bags, notebooks, cards, like all the merch that you just want to look at, and it was really cool. And we went in quite a few of them, and then like there was like nothing under like £50.
It sounds like my kind of day out.
Oh, it was. I literally texted Yannick and was like, we need an afternoon out in Altrincham, because then there's just looks like there's loads of cute bars for like a day and stuff. And
was it like a town?
Yeah, there was, but like it's a town that feels quite small and like cute.
Cutesy.
But then it has like River Island, H&M, like really big shops. Like if you live there, you really don't need to go out of Altrincham, and it's only 23 minutes on the tram to Manchester, which I didn't know.
Oh yeah, super close.
So yeah, had the really, really nice day there. Would recommend a cute day out there, but just know that you're probably going to spend months.
Let's do game.
Okay, so I've prepared a little game. You guys also can play along at home, like we always say. So we are doing this week overrated or underrated.
Yes,
I just love one of these.
I do.
Butter on toast. So I think this is something that when people have it, they're like, oh my god, and they rate it. But in general, it's so underrated. Yeah, because it's not talked about. It's not your maybe first go to, but like just literal melted butter on toast. And I'm talking a lot of butter.
Yeah, that's it. It's got to be a lot of butter, and the butter. Then yeah, that hits every time.
So
I'd say that's underrated.
I would say it's so underrated. Okay, then I was like, okay, sticking on like kind of like that theme.
Yeah,
afternoon tea.
Overrated.
I think it's so overrated. And like obviously it's kind of
so
around
expensive.
the time of Mother's Day, and so many people book it for Mother's Day, and I just know that our mum probably wouldn't like.
I'd rather just go for lunch and choose what I want to eat.
Our mum would rather us go for a nice lunch at like like a bistro lunch type thing, like sandwich. But I just think the sandwich fillings are always crap.
Yeah, they are. There's like 4 sandwiches and
one
good
and,
one.
Like, cucumber.
There's usually one good one.
Yeah, and then that just goes. And then the only good thing about it is scones, but it's like if I want a scone, I'll just order a scone.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just order out one.
Yeah, like a scone and a cup of tea.
I think it's really overrated, and it's always really expensive.
Yeah, and I just think we've got really tiny sandwiches.
Yeah.
And a dessert no one wants.
Overrated 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Lions.
Like
you just lie in
the morning.
Alarm. Yeah. Because some people, when they're like, oh, I just wish I had a lion, and then when it comes to it, they're like, don't lie in. So I'm like, is it actually like, do people not actually like it? It's like a wishful thing in the week when you're really busy. I mean, I think they're rated
the right amount.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of a lion.
I'm a really big fan. But Yannick will always, I just put this in because Yannick will always be like, oh, I just want to lie in, but he can't lie in. So then like lying in with him, I'm just like.
I know what you mean, because but actually then if you get up 2 hours later, it's like, well, we could have been getting on with this and this, or we could have gone out for the day, or.
Yeah, but like, on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I said, me and Yannick just had that day where there was just like no plans, and we ended up like just. I think good lying is it's not that you sleep later, it's that when you wake up, there's nothing to get up for so you can just be in bed without the guilt.
Yeah, that's a vibe.
So we, that day, when we were eating breakfast, we were like, oh my God, like, that was a lie-in.
Yeah,
like,
that's...
we literally just got up, chatted,
I
watched some
love those
reels,
days.
relaxed, and we didn't feel guilty about it. And it was a good hour and a half to 2 hours of just like,
because Richard gets
laying
up
in bed
all the time super early. When that does happen,
Yeah.
it is so nice.
So that is the perfect lie-in for me. It's if you remove the guilt. If you're like laying in and you feel guilty, it's not a lie-in.
No, because your mind's thinking about the other stuff, so you might as well get up.
Are they over or underrated? Because I feel like most people probably associate guilt with it.
Yeah.
But I would say a really good lie-in is rated.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I completely agree with that.
Okay. Ant and Dec.
I think they're rated right.
I do too. I think they are national treasures.
I do. They really are.
And they're funny.
Yeah, they are. They're funny, and they're also quite funny now because they're kind of at the point where they
don't take shit.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Like they've smashed
their
let careers.
Loose a little bit.
Yeah.
I personally get nervous every year at the NTAs that they're not going to win Best Presenter because they've won it
they've won
20
it so many times
in a row.
They?
And I'm like, I just don't want to watch when that streak ends.
I actually love them.
Next one, Bridgeton.
I
low-key think it's underrated. I don't think enough people have watched it.
Really? I think everyone's watched it.
I tell you why. Because I feel like Bridgeton, it has this massive thing when it's released, and then they go ghost for like 2 years, and then no one's talking. And I'm just like, I feel like it's a bit underrated. Because when you do have on those random days where you have nothing to watch, and you think, go on, I'll go back and watch it. It's so good.
It is extremely good. It's really, really good. But I think a lot of people, when it comes out,
it is so rated. I love that it gets the overhype. Some people will probably say it's overrated when it comes out.
No, I don't think it's overrated at all.
I don't think it's overrated.
I think it's really good.
But then I just think we don't forget about it, but it's just obviously we need a new series. We're waiting.
Like, come on, Bridgeton.
I know.
Level up.
It's the brother next, the second oldest brother, who we've not really connected with that much. So I'm hoping, we'll fall in love with him and his story probably, but I'm hoping it's a good one.
Yeah, I actually love Bridgeton.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it's fairly rated, but I know what you mean. Like, it just goes on a lull because of Netflix, we have to wait ages.
And I still just think not enough people have seen it. Honestly, I'm really shocked at how many people haven't seen it when I speak about it. They're like, oh, I thought, I didn't give that a go.
Oh, if you're thinking about giving it a go, give it a go.
Yeah. If I would do anything to watch the first series for the first time again.
Yeah, the first series
is the best, but I haven't watched the latest series again yet, so I might do that. Because that was the raunchiest, to be fair. Okay, Selfridges.
Now,
I think it's slightly overrated.
Now, hear me out. I think it's overrated because I can't afford to shop in the parts that I would probably want to shop in.
Yeah, I would say it's slightly overrated because here's my thing with it. If I was genuinely at the point of life where I could go to, bearing in mind our money episode was a couple of episodes ago, I could go and get that 10k Chanel bag.
Yeah.
I would probably want to go into a Chanel store and get the full experience.
Yeah.
But as a Saturday going around the shops, having a mooch around Selfridges is nice. But the way people buy in from their, it has to be Selfridges. I'm like,
I didn't know that was a thing. Is that a thing?
I feel like people love Selfridges. Like,
I like the idea of having enough money to go and have a personal shopper and.
I would love that.
Yeah.
And I love a department store, so when I do think it's overrated, I think I rate it perfectly. Me, personally. I think I rate it how it's supposed to be. I would love a mooch. I would, if I was rich enough, I would go in and have the personal shopping experience. I'd be like, that. And I love that you can see everything and it's not just one brand. But I do think that it's kind of like Taylor Swift fans. I feel like people that love Selfridges are like a cult, and that makes me feel like it's overrated.
Well, yeah, I feel like that's a thing because you've got 2 in Manchester, whereas we don't have one anywhere near here. But I do...
Because I feel like people just love to name drop it.
To be fair, Richard loves Selfridges.
And they're like, I got it from Selfridges. And it's like, I didn't need to know that. Because sometimes they've got makeup that, do you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, no, but I need it because I got it from Selfridges. And it's like, you can get that from Boots. So it's...
Yeah, I know what you mean. But it's the best department store.
Yeah, and they've got Skims in there. They've got everything in there. It's amazing.
I think it's overrated purely because
because I'm jealous I can't shop
there.
Yeah. Fairs. Next one, Gossip Girl.
Now, I do really like Gossip Girl. Like, I actually really like it.
I can't believe you're going to break my heart and say it's overrated.
But I am actually going to say it's overrated.
No, it's not. It is not overrated at all.
I think it is.
No, it's not. Why is it overrated?
Because when I go back
if you could watch that for the first time, it is not overrated at all. And it's a series that I have seen multiple times and I could still watch it again.
There's just, every time there's bits that I want to skip.
Yeah, because that's because you know what's going to happen and you don't like the character, which, fine, skip those bits. But as a overall series, it is not overrated.
I think it's very good. And it was perfect for its time. We don't make anything like that anymore. And I would love watching stuff like that.
That's why I just think it's totally not overrated.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But there is just the bits that make me want to skip. I'm like, it annoys me. I'm like, how can you be such a good series, yet there be bits that I don't want to watch?
That's because because it's such a good series, you get so invested in the character and the plot, and you're like, I hate them because I know, like, you know what they do and you know what they're gonna do, and you're just like, ugh.
Are you Blake or Serena? You're Blake.
What do you mean, Blake or Serena? That's the actress and the freaking Blair or Serena.
Oh yeah,
that's the actress and the character. Well, younger, I was like, oh, I'm obviously a Serena, like, but maturing and
yeah, 100%.
Like, I'm a Blair.
Yeah,
of course I'm Blair.
I was a Serena, and then when I've rewatched it, I'm like, I'm definitely not a Serena.
I'm a Blair Waldorf. Okay, the last few we'll roll them
quick
off.
Fire.
Home Sense,
depending on which one you go to. I think Home Sense completely depends on the one you go to. Like, I think some days you could go and you'd be like, this is overrated, or there's nothing here. Why?
No, but Home Sense as a general thing, I think it's rated really well, and I think it's getting the credit it finally deserves. And I could spend a whole day in Home Sense.
I could.
But yeah, of course, like, if you go to a crappy one, you're like, oh. But I wouldn't then be like, oh, Home Sense is overrated. It is, because you know that's part of the bargain going.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes it's great and sometimes it's...
Yeah.
I would say it's a good rating. Okay. Cowboy hats. 3, 2, 1.
Underrated.
I think they're underrated.
I love a cowboy hat.
I do.
Though we've just watched...
I think, like, this summer is going to be the year of cowboy hats. And, like, if you thought last year was, I feel like it's going to be the year.
Yeah, we've been watching Yellowstone.
Have you seen the Colour Wow brand trip? Maura, Grace that's just come off Love Island.
Oh, I've not seen.
Jasmine Green. Oh, my God. Go... The thing is, you won't see their stories now. They've all just been in Texas.
Oh, such a vibe.
Horse rides. The streets look like a movie set. Oh my God, it has looked unreal. Probably go on Colour Wows.
Yeah, maybe. I will. I actually will.
It's made me need to go to Texas. Not want, need. And I was like, I just want to walk around in the jeans with the belt and the cowboy hat and the vest top all day, every day, on a horse, riding around, like, oh...
me and Richard literally want to be cowboys because we've been watching Yellowstone and we're like...
I need to get onto that. You did recommend it.
Yeah, but actually, we will do a wedding episode in a few weeks. But
yeah. I was going to say we need to get a wedding episode in here.
I actually really love the last rodeo theme for Hindus because of the whole cowboy
Oh my God,
thing.
I would love to plant that.
Right, next.
Last two, Drake.
I think he's overrated.
I really don't. I think he's rated, if not underrated, because I think people just like to give him hate. But if you literally...
Yeah, I don't listen to his albums and stuff.
No, but I don't really. Like, I know a couple of his albums more. Like, I've listened to the whole albums. But I reckon for a good 45 minutes, even to an hour...
Yeah, you are right.
You could play not even an album song that you don't know, and it would be banger after banger after banger, whether it's a collaboration or a Drake song. You can't say the guy is overrated. He's produced some great stuff.
No, you are right, actually, because you could. He's one of those artists
like to give him a bad time,
where you could listen to loads of their songs and you would know them.
Last one, and I just think these are the most overrated things in the whole entire world. And anyone that likes them, I just think is crazy.
You're gonna say Crocs?
Oh, no, I'm not. But that wouldn't even make my list. I'm in disgust of Crocs. Sorry. Custard Creams.
Oh my gosh, that's so random. I actually do think they're overrated.
It's
I'm
the
a
most bland, shittest biscuit.
I'm a bourbon gal.
I'm a bourbon cow.
Bourbon's hit.
They slap.
And they're really good
Dunking in tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, Custard Creams
Custard
is just
creams
the
are
most
not a
vanilla,
vibe.
bland, basic bitch biscuit.
The biscuit's
I
like
hate
dry
it.
and like
And
not
it's
even
like
nice.
fake sweet.
Yeah.
I hate
I
it.
agree. I think they're really
Okay.
overrated.
Anyway, that was my game.
I'm really glad we agree on the custard creams.
Yeah, I was really nervous because I was like, what if you say they're rated?
I'm going to have to reassess everything.
I know, I'm going to have to disown you as a sister.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Topic of the week.
Right. Speaking of Molly and Tommy in today's episode.
Yes.
Actually, I am just Molly obsessed. I could talk about it all the time. Molly and Tommy back together.
Yes.
Like,
or they're working on it, or like it's not been announced, but it looks like they're back together.
Yeah.
They just got back from Dubai.
Or at least they're giving, I don't know.
Giving
like
it a go.
They've been on a family holiday, and we got from the documentary that, you know, her idea was to get back with him.
Yeah.
So maybe they're working on getting there.
Yeah.
And she can do no wrong in my eyes. She can do what she wants.
Yes.
But what is your opinion on getting back with exes?
Getting back with exes.
It's a huge question.
It is a huge question. And I was, in preparation for this, I was thinking about my answer. And I was like, I'm 50-50 on it. Because, hear me out, I am, from my own personal experience, and just like values, and I just feel like there was a reason, and you should listen to that reason. And I just know if I'd have got back with my ex, it wouldn't have been good. It would have gone back to toxicity. And so I think it's half of me is like, no, like you need to, it was for a reason, and you need to believe and trust in that reason, even on the days where you just feel like you want to go back. But then 50% of me is such a loving, forgiving person, and when I have seen celebrity couples or XYZ get back together and it's worked, I'm all for it. And I think, like, work on what you need to work on. I will say, I think people can't get back together and it work really quickly. That's why I'm a bit worried about the Molly and Tommy thing.
Yeah.
I think when you've had time, I feel like Millie and Liam, actually, off Love Island, they broke up and they stayed broken up for a long while and then got back together. And I do feel like sometimes maybe that works a little bit better because it's not as raw, not as emotive. You've maybe both like gone on and lived lives separately, realised what you were missing, you've changed, you've grown.
Yeah, you're not in that bubble of, but that's my person, I have to be with them. When you want to get
back with an ex, it's a very emotional thing. It's an emotional reason. And you're not thinking about what was actually going wrong day to day and why you broke up. You're just remembering the good things about them and, oh, but we had this planned and we were going to do this in our future. And you're thinking thinking about the romantic story you've created in your head and not actually them, who they are.
What actually has happened.
So I do think if you like then just like go off that and get back with them, if it just goes back to the same thing, you're going to be having the exact same issues. And then even worse, you've got like a breakup to throw in someone's face. Like, oh, well, this is why I broke up with you, or oh, this is why we should have stayed broke up.
Yeah, it adds another toxicity if
like
you don't do it in the right way.
Exactly. So I'm really 50-50.
I think it's circumstantial.
Yeah.
Like, if someone cheats or something like that, I just think, park it. That's quite... Like, if you get to the point where you betray me...
Yeah, I personally couldn't forgive that. So like, it would be a no from me. You have
betrayed me. You couldn't even get to the point where you could talk to me about XYZ. You just went and betrayed me. Like, I don't know if that's...
But I do also then... This is my 50-50 brain. Because it's like... If you're, like, in a really, like... If you were, let's say, in a really happy marriage with your kids and you were living your dream with the house and the man and you thought nothing was wrong and you had no idea they were cheating, and even though your absolute morals are like, well, you've cheated on me, I'll never trust you again, like, I can't be with you. But if the day before you were just absolutely living your dream life.
Well, I mean, that would be soul crushing.
It's like, how do you still love that person? The love can't just go. So I totally get, especially with family, like people do try and work on it and get past it. I always feel though, when people immediately try work on it and get past it, they do then eventually, maybe whether it takes a few months, a year or two, they do realize, oh, maybe I can't forgive this, and then they do eventually break up.
Yeah, that does happen a lot. I think, like I say, if it's quite a toxic relationship, someone's cheated, it's very argumentative, you have fights quite a lot, that type of thing, it's probably not going to work unless you do some serious work.
Yeah,
and then it's
and
kind
you
of
both
like,
have to want to put in the work.
Are we each other's people if we're having to put this much work into it? If it's circumstantial that, like, so if I use myself as an example, like, maybe you've got stuff to work on,
Yeah,
and you take time away, and it, like, so we separated for about 8 to 10 weeks,
yeah,
maybe a bit longer, over lockdown, and
I mean,
oh my
was
gosh,
not a good
5
time.
years ago,
Yeah,
it was rough, like really rough.
it was a rough time.
It was not good. And communication was like not there on why it happened.
I actually totally forgot you technically don't work an ex.
Yeah.
I actually totally forgot about that. Because
Really?
you've just been together for so long. I actually totally forgot that you, like, I obviously didn't forget that you had the, like, little breakup, but in my head it wasn't a breakup because you're, like, now, like,
Yeah,
engaged.
and it was like 8 weeks
But
when
yeah,
we've been together
totally,
6 years.
Totally got back with an ex.
Yeah. I have done it, guys.
Yeah,
So
Ellie is testament to that.
I'm definitely one of those people that, like, when I know I'm quite like a proud person, so if, like, you're
Yes.
done with me, like with exes before, like, I've just, like, not even then responded to them. I've just been like,
Yeah.
no, like, fine, whatever, you're done with me.
Yeah.
It's done. We just don't communicate ever again. Whereas in our situation, you know, the work was put in from his side, and I went with, like, well, you need to do this, and, like, we worked. It was probably quite, like, dictatoring of me,
but
you've got to put
when because I would be nervous of, and I'm sure maybe, like, listeners might be nervous of, like, okay, you do get back and you can see work being put in, but then the minute you have that, like, first row, or there's the first setback from the work, how do you then not instantly go to, like, well, you said you were going to do this, or how does it not become toxic and you keep bringing it back up? Because I feel like if you are getting back with an ex, like, 100%, you have to forget.
Yeah, you do.
And that takes a lot.
But I think the only way to actually really forget is to put those boundaries in place and say what you expect from them in order to move forward, and actually see that they're doing it. And they need to sort of own their shit if something does go wrong. And if you can see that you're the one that's actually let them back into your life, you can't really throw it in their face again, because
that's
you
one
made
thing
that
I would
choice.
say.
If
you are ever going to get back with an ex, you can't be the person that's throwing it in their face.
Absolutely not.
Like, I took you back and this and that. Like, it has to literally be a clean slate. And I think that's where my 50-50 comes in, because I just feel like a lot of people, including myself potentially, I've never, like, done it. I've never got back with an ex, but I feel like potentially
it'd be hard to look past that.
I couldn't get past that, because there would maybe just be always something in you that was like, oh, but you, like, I mean, I don't know, but I do feel like that's a case of it really would have to be forgotten.
I think with us, it just like, although it was super tough and it was awful for me, when I actually then spoke to him after, when we, you know, he wasn't in a good place and I fully understood, and we had really, really clear communication and conversation, and actually it just improved our communication.
Well, that's
with each
amazing.
other.
And maybe, like, obviously no one knows with the Tommy and Molly thing, but it's, you know, came out he had a lot of work to do and this and that. And maybe if he's genuinely, like, because she never wanted the breakup, she wanted her family to be together. So if he's maybe, like, genuinely proving, look, like, I'm working on it, I am changing, why wouldn't she give it another go?
Yeah,
so
it's her family at the end of the day.
And then, like you say, like, maybe, like, things like that actually happen to change for the better. And, like, that saying of, like, sometimes you have to lose something to realize what you had, and then you really work for it and don't take it as for granted. So that's what I mean. Like, like you say, if it's not something completely toxic, it's not something that makes you unsafe, it's not cheating, it's not, you know, an abusive relationship that's like toxic to the point where you don't leave because you're either scared, or it's like the toxicity is weirdly become normal. If it's genuinely a case of, look, like, I love you, I don't want to not be with you, but X and X I can't cope with anymore, and then those things actually get worked on, that could actually show you that, oh, this person does actually love me and is willing to do this and this to be with me.
I think it, you know, it changed our relationship as, I wouldn't say like I'm glad it happened, because it was horrific and I wouldn't want it to happen, but actually our relationship's definitely better because it happened.
And that's really good.
But yeah, I think it is completely circumstantial, and not, there's so many relationships where I just think absolutely not, you should not.
Well, I was thinking, and I was like, Liv Atwood and her husband, they broke up, got back together. That was after time.
Yeah, that was after quite a long period of time.
And then Beyonce, Jay-Z.
I didn't even know they broke up.
They didn't, but she forgave him cheating.
Oh yeah. But do they just share their lives with that other person so much, and that if you're in the public eye that much, it's so hard to rebuild something with someone? Do you look past things easier?
There's so many celebrity divorces though.
Yeah, true.
So I do feel like within society there are couples that have like, the dream stayed together, this and that. There's been couples that have like broke up, and then there's like those couples that have broke up and got back together, and quite a few Love Island couples have done that, where they've broke up and got back together. Like Cara and Nathan broke up for a bit, then got back together. Like Millie and Liam. So
it definitely has happened more than you think.
And I do think when you add that level of public eye, they're not only having to deal with what every other relationship has to deal with. It's like, I can only imagine the girls and guys in their DMs making fake shit up.
Oh, okay, same.
And then like it's like you trust your partner, but then of course you're human and you're going to think what's real, what's not real. Why am I getting sent this all the time though? There must be something behind it. Is there not? And some people do just like to mess about with reality TV stars or famous people, and it's totally false.
The media around Tommy, when Molly and Tommy,
and I do think
I couldn't have coped with that.
And I do think that was, obviously it's never come out whether he cheated, didn't cheat, and we're not here to discuss that. But when obviously he said with alcohol, so if he is out and going out, and you know he's got like being Molly, like you know he's got an issue with alcohol and drinking too much, and then
your mind is going.
You are getting sent all of these things and like angles and all of that. Like I get it, but then the media around it, like that Dubai, the Dubai videos, but the thing is, I have been a girl around celebrity tables and stuff, and what I will say is, because it's like, oh, all the girls around him, it's not by his choice that all those girls are there. Like girls get put on the tables,
and
girls obviously, like, it's never really been me, but girls literally like run
the way girls like throw themselves. It's like, you know,
I know
that they are in a relationship.
I know, it's crazy. So I'm not condoning, I don't know what's gone on, but I'm not condoning anything. But what I will say is, like, if you take a video of like a guy with a load of girls on his table and you're the girlfriend sat at home, you're gonna feel like shit about it.
Yeah, definitely.
But it doesn't mean they're doing anything wrong. It could just, like, girls are on the table, and I'm not doing anything, but girls are on the table.
You got to be a pretty confident person.
Yeah, so I do think, like, with these celebrities that like make up, break up and things like that, and especially when like the ones that like just come out of Love Island and they're now navigating that like new life, and then it's like, whoa, and I've got a new relationship on top of this and this and that. So I kind of do get why quite a few of them have maybe separated ways, and then as they've navigated the life and realized, oh no, I did really love that person, it was just X, Y, and Z was in the way.
I think usually as well when they get back together, they seem much more like personal and like to share what they want to share. Whereas especially when like Love Island couples, for example, they probably feel like they have to keep doing things together to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Whereas actually when they then break up and work on themselves, they probably realize, actually, no, we actually did love each other. We just got caught up with the like media side of it.
Yeah. No, I agree. So yeah, getting back with exes,
always a tricky one, but I think it is circumstantial.
It's definitely circumstantial. And I think just to end on it, one thing I will say, maturing is realizing that it's okay to get back with an ex or maybe have someone disrespect you and work through it. Because when I was younger, growing up, a teenager, I was like, nah, if someone treated me like this, or if this or that, or if they did that to me, no, I won't forgive anyone. Like, I was giving it
I think until you're in the situation,
and then
like,
until
you
actually
can't
are
know
in love
what you would
and
do.
go through things and realize, as you get older as well, you just realize people are different and respond to things differently. And it's genuinely just like, the older you get, you just learn how important communication is.
Yeah, 100%.
So
it's the most important
it's
thing.
never just as black and white. But growing up, I just thought it was black and white. Like, why would you get back with an ex? Ew. Like, they did you wrong. So yeah, definitely, I would say after this conversation, I'm still 50-50 on it. But I agree that everyone's just on their own journey. And if Molly and Tommy do get back together, there's so much positive from that.
So much. They've got their own little family.
So I'm all for it. As long as Molly's happy.
Yeah, like, literally do what makes you happy.
Exactly. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys. So make sure to like and subscribe and to leave us a rating on Spotify or Apple.
Amazing. Bye.
Bye, guys.